welcome to Geekatplay Studio Tutorials. In this tutorial, we're going to create this scenery working with some of the terrain placement, materials, ecosystem, lighting, and doing some little bit post-production in Photoshop. So right here is actually original file from the view, and here a little bit enhancement inside the Photoshop. Again, this is just optional if you want to do that. So let's go ahead and start working on this. Okay, so let's begin by creating one scenery terrain, and for this we actually will go use procedural terrain. Let's just move it slightly out, and I want to leave default size. So if you look right here, we have it 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer. And next we'll go to edit this object. Okay, right here we have it our terrain, and you notice in a procedural tab we have it our function. So what I want to do, it is reset this function. You'll notice we have it 0 edges. Let's uncheck it. Now it's just flat terrain. Okay, next we'll go right click and going to edit function. Okay, and in edit function what I want to do, it is actually using fractal for this, and we'll switch this fractal to the eroded rocky mountains. Let's connect our altitude. When we're creating, we click, you can preview. It's got a nice look, kind of like river almost, but I want to add some details. One thing what I want to do is take larger features and decrease maybe to about 6. Some small details will pop up, so we don't have this extra large kind of previews, which is nice. Also right here to add additional details, and reason why I want to do this because this will be very large scale and I want to have some rough areas and other things. So we're going to add rock roughness just a little bit because this is very sensitive settings, and small changing even will apply quite a bit on this. Sometimes if you cannot see how it will look when you change, you maybe want to increase resolution. Again, this is just a preview resolution, and normal we keep it down so it's have a faster render time. But again, because we're doing right now, we can increase for the preview. And right here, let's say you can decrease it, and you can see right here just slightly. Let me do one thing. Just take this size, make it smaller so we kind of doesn't be on our screen. As well, rock heights. Let's just example go all the way high. And you can see right small dots, our rock height is pop up. So we want them a little bit higher. Okay, and let's go set iteration 2. Take a second to fully render this. So we have a little bit rough areas. Okay. Next, we'll go look on some aspect. And let's just take ground level just a little bit down. It should bring right here, and flat areas look actually okay. We'll just leave it here. Scale factor is fine. Stretch, let's maybe distortion will add those kind of a little bit smoother lines, so we want to maybe add a little bit distortions but at the same time increase stretch factor. And you can see the lines will be a little bit more curvy right there. They're not going straight, they sometimes kind of a little bit curvy, so we can create this preview. Okay, before we closing this window and go next, let's add a couple custom dependencies. And one custom dependency will connect to the rough area. So we can name it, and another one, okay, right here, will connect to the altitude. these one connections help custom dependents will help us in the future to reassign materials in proper area. For example, if I want to create snow and I want to create a little bit more on a flat and rough areas will look like rocks, I will use rough area. And altitude will help me to realign maybe some other areas with positioning, maybe green grass. So we'll click right here. Next things what I want to do, and let's look, this is a little bit too large scale. Let's bring this one scale a little bit down. Okay, it's take a second to render. Okay, maybe even go inside the function and make smaller. So let's go open, actually right click edit function. And we can do right here, just wavelengths. Okay, we can decrease it, and till we're doing this, let's decrease resolution on our terrain. So it will be rendered a little bit faster. Okay, that's look a little bit better, so I can see previews. Okay, I'm going, maybe, yeah, let's leave it 0.4 inside our function, and we'll just go overall to the scale. Oops, 0.5. Just look through the scale. I think this is about right. Let's look. I'm just looking around which is better place to kind of look. Maybe from this point we can rotate, because I like how the river is going this way. It's where river will be, and our mountains. We'll notice also we have a quite bit effect. Okay, let's click OK. Next things, you see how it's a little bit flying. I want to bring it down, and right here you can preview this window. As soon when we start intersect with our ground, I want to stop before that. We'll click on the main camera right now, bring up, oops, the sun doesn't need it, there you go. We'll bring our main camera a little bit up, looking down, and again I think it was rotate. Get the camera a bit more, so we can find the best place. Okay, also let's rotate one time more, preview from this angle. This one actually it's look kind of interesting. So this edge right here, I don't really worry too much. You can always just slightly stretching. Right here, leave it too open. Okay, take our camera. And one more time, so we total rotating around. Okay. I think this angle the best one will be, because we have a nice going kind of around, have mountain right here and something on the back as well. Let's just shrink a little bit down, make it slightly just a bit flatter, so we can preview. Okay, as well, we can always just stretch slightly this way. Just want to be sure this position kind of like curve with looking and previewing. So right here on our terrain, we can see we have one closer mountain right here, which is will be, I'm looking kind of with population ecosystem how it will go, so we'll have it close up right this area. We have nice local mountains with population here. We have it nice on the side and some foreground, so it's look very good. Next step, what we're going to do, it is apply a simple materials, and we'll start with placing just a sand, because sand will go on the bottom of river. Next, probably rocks and a little bit plants kind of material on top, and maybe some sand, little bit snow on the side. We'll see how it will come up. Okay, first let's take all ground. What do we have it? And I'm applying material. Just doesn't matter anything. You can take it rock plants. Doesn't matter any material. Will apply right here. Okay, let's go to preview. Okay, you can see we have it quite a bit of view at this point. Let me take it. Normal, I don't worry too much about this, and we will rework on this kind of. So we'll rework, reposition this one. It will be fine. Okay, let's do let's go to material now. And first our base will take a soft dunes, so that will be our base one. Okay, and next we'll go to add additional layer, and this layer will be start from the right here, maybe where the trees, plants, and go up. So I'm going to select Vegetation's orange rocks. Okay, we'll go to switch this set marker. Okay, be sure with 100% on alpha boost. And with this marker, let's go to environment, and we'll move just from the bottom a little bit more. Like this, and let's increase smoothness right here on the bottom a little bit, kind of like sand almost on the side. Okay, and I don't really worry about top at this moment. On disable. Okay, we'll have it world standard. Let's be sure our scale is 1, just to verify everything. Okay, next be sure to set bumps maybe to 1. Okay, next let's go ahead and add another one, and I'm going to add just vegetation. We'll click OK, click 0 right here. We'll go to enable again highlighter for this. Okay, we'll go to environment tab. And for the environment, actually, I want to add a little bit more to the, a little bit lower, right here. Okay, we'll add a bit more fuzziness on the bottom. But next things what I want to do, it is go inside the transparency. Okay, we'll have it 100%. We'll click variable transparency. And right here in a function, what we're going to do is add our custom external dependency. We'll go set this one from procedural terrain, and remember we have it rough areas, so we'll select rough areas, connect external dependency right here. We can preview, you can see how they will going. And one thing I noticed, we need to actually inverse that one. So we'll set opposite. Let's click OK. Disable highlights. In this case, we'll have it in rough areas, we have it less green and kind of more. Okay, let's go to these things. So we'll take our main camera. Maybe even just move way out. Oops, let me preview. Let's preview overall. So right here, actually, you can see. Maybe I need a reverse because on the rough area is a little bit more green. So let's go ahead back to our terrain, edit, and actually switch these to filter. We don't need opposite, but on a filter, okay, I want to add a little bit more on the white areas. There you go. Okay, let's go preview again. So yeah, in this case we have a little bit more sand. Those areas, okay. Let's now add some other effect, and we can add the snow if you create winter, but what I'm going to do is add a little bit more of the rock and plants of the darken kind of. So that's 0 to this one. Okay, we'll go to transparency, actually global transparency, variable transparency, we'll edit, and same things right here. We'll go to add external dependency. We'll set to the procedural terrain, and we'll have it altitude. So variation in altitude. Okay, you can notice right here where we have it kind of darker on the bottom slightly. Let's go to based of material altitude. We can go here. Let's switch this one to opposite, so it will go a little bit more on top. Let's click OK, and just slightly reduce. What it does, it's create this kind of dusty look a little bit on top. So when we creating, we can see kind of a little bit darker, and that will help a little bit when we start with ecosystem population, so the color reflection will be a little bit nicer this way. Okay, so right here we was using, again, let's go select one, just go through all of those and be sure we're all set in right scale mode for this. Okay, so we've done this one. Let's go next, start working on ecosystem. Before we do this, take my camera, and slightly reposition. Okay, maybe take this terrain and pop up a little bit up. Okay, right here. Okay, let's click view. Okay, next step, we kind of preset materials. Let's go ahead and start adding ecosystem. What I'm going to do, it is just click ecosystem first, and we'll have two types. One, I want to have it on the top, maybe like pine trees, and another one's maybe on a kind of bottom one's lower. So we'll see some different trees, and we'll go to the tree. And let's select maybe tall pine tree, and next maybe is Scott pine tree. So we'll select 2 of those, and I'm going to create 2 different ecosystem layers. We'll go to present, and right here what I want to do, I want to bring a little bit up. Again, remember, if you want to see, you can always switch to highlighter mode, so you can see where those plants will appear. Okay, actually this is about right. We'll go ahead, let's preview. Okay, we have kind of nice placement. Let's go look on a density, and maybe, you know, just a little bit less density on this. Okay, next let's go click below, create another ecosystem, and in these ones we'll just go add red spruce, and let's add also blue spruce. So we'll have 2 different kind of plants. I always try to mix them because they will produce a different color, a little bit different shape and size, so it's kind of nice to have this diversity when we plant it. Let's click OK. We'll go to present again, and on this point let's go ahead and enable our highlights. Okay, I don't want to put them on a bottom all the way in the water, so I'm going to move slightly. Okay, let's go see. Okay, and from the top as well. So maybe more from top is also. So we don't want to touch right here. Okay, now we add a little bit more fuzziness on the top and just a very little bit on the bottom. So let's go click preview. Okay, you can see right here we have a nice population going. Maybe a little bit too low, so we'll bring this bottom edge. And on top, maybe a little bit more into the top. Okay, let's go ahead, click OK. We'll take lights, and let's move light a little bit on the side now, so we can preview this kind of dimension distance. Okay, I'm going to little bit readjust camera position. Just play a little bit more around, see if I can get it. Mostly I want to see this little bit on the back, kind of, because we have it our distance right here going. Just readjusting, see which way we can better preview. Look from different angles, and this is kind of maybe try to find the best angle. Like this one. Let's go ahead, preview again. The reason preview, because it will re-render, it is dynamic ecosystem, so it will re-render plants. Okay, look okay right here, a bit lost. So let's go ahead, take camera, move little bit back and around here. I think this one actual place will look one of the best one. Maybe around like this positioning. And of course this is all changed. You can take camera, rotate it, adjust it as you want it. And let's start working on a little bit water material, sun, and maybe add some more details in the next part of the tutorials.